Today we're harvesting one of my favorites. It's these Louisiana Evergreen Shallots right behind me. They are multiplying like crazy, and I need to get in here and cut down some of the onion tops and the scapes. So this is one of those plants that I absolutely love because it's low maintenance. You put it in the ground, it does its thing, but you're constantly harvesting it. So I definitely need to clean up this bed. I will leave some of the shallots in here, but a lot of these shallots are going to get pulled out and harvested so I can get some of these new plants into the bed. So let me get into this bed and go ahead and pull a whole bunch of these scapes. If you've never grown onion top scapes before, you're really missing out. They taste like a cross between a garlic scape and a green onion top. Super delicious. Here's what's cool about this. I can plant one onion like this in the ground, and what ends up happening is that one onion shoot will multiply just like this plant did. And there's got to be like 10 different onions that have multiplied in here. And down at the bottom of this is a shallot. Now, it doesn't get to be a huge shallot. They're kind of small, that's maybe about this big. But the best thing about it is it's one of these plants that you buy once and you never have to buy again, which gives me onion tops for many months of the year. I did a whole video on planting Louisiana Evergreen Shallots, so I'll leave a link to that at the end of the video and down below in the description. Now, not only do I have this bed with a whole bunch of these Louisiana Shallots in here, but I also have this bed over here with the same thing going on this side of the bed. And let me go up here because I have some Louisiana Shallots up in those beds. I have a ton to harvest and get through and pick. When I originally ordered the Louisiana Shallots, I only ordered 10 shoots. I have never had to order new ones. Each year, it just grows back year after year when I plant them. So let's pull one of these so you can see what they look like. I'm actually gonna try and do it from this side so you guys can see what the roots look like. I'm literally just gonna grab them all. Pull them out. Now, of course, these guys could continue to grow out here and these shallots would get a little bit bigger, but because I have to transition this bed, I gotta pull these out. So I'm going to throw this down onto the grass so you could see this completely pulled. Like I said, I put one in the ground and it gave me 6 shallots here. Now, these would have gotten a little bit bigger, maybe about that big. I can save these. I can let them kind of dry out and then replant them again next year. I can make onion top pesto with the greens on the top here. I have a recipe for that. I'll leave a link to that. It is so delicious. One of my favorite recipes out there. And depending on the season, oftentimes we can actually trim down the roots a little bit, trim off the top of these onion tops, probably somewhere around here, and literally replant this right back into the garden, and it'll continue to multiply. I can't usually do that in the heat of the summer, but I can do it in the late fall and early spring. It is a plant that just keeps on giving and giving. These scapes are real easy to harvest. I just go all the way down to the bottom, right where it meets, and you snap it, and they come off really, really easy. One thing you'll notice when you're pulling scapes like this, there's actually a lot of liquid that kind of comes out of the bottom of the scape. That's actually a good thing. It's a little bit sticky and it gets on your fingers, but I think that's a really good thing because it's just saying that there is a lot of liquid in the stalks or the scapes of your onions. So I think that's a good thing. That's one bed. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next bed over here. Oh, that is the onion scapes that I could find in the garden. That doesn't even count the onion tops that I still need to go back in and harvest. What is amazing about this is this is the third time I have actually harvested the scapes. The other 2 times were never as big as this. But I will also be harvesting more scapes next week because they keep popping up and popping up and popping up. Okay, so we're done with the scapes. I do need to get in here and now clean up some of the green onion tops and see what we can harvest. Now here's another thing. You notice how some of these are all falling over and kind of bending? There's many reasons why they could be falling over. I can tell you 2 reasons that I know of is when you're getting in here and you're trying to pull the scapes, these are really tender. So if you get in here and you accidentally knock it, it's gonna bend over and break. The other reason why I know this happens is do not let your husband near it with the leaf blower because they're so tender. When the leaf blower goes by, it bends every one of these. So that's the reason why so many of these have fallen over and kind of like bent in half, is they just can't handle the leaf blower. Definitely the bulbs are much smaller on these plants because they were planted much closer together. All right, so it's the next day. I didn't get to everything yesterday, but I did go ahead and kind of clean up a little bit of the onions in here. I pulled out some onions that were in between. There was one on the end there. I actually put a pepper, if you can see that. I stuck a red impact pepper there. I put an Amish there, pulled out an onion. I put another Amish paste tomato there. And then over there where the pepper is, that is a giant Marconi. Then what I did with all these carrots here, I decided to put some sweet basil in between some of the carrots. And I'm super excited because look at these carrots. These are awesome. I really like this Bolero carrot. They're fantastic. These were overwintered. I put them in, I think it was September last year, and they overwintered so well. So this bed is really starting to come together. So I've brought a whole bunch of the Louisiana shallots inside in our sunroom so they can start to dry out. What I need to do is the same as what I've done on the top here, is kind of clean them up a little bit and separate them out so that they can start to dry out. So we don't like a lot of things to go to waste. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll take these, dice them up really small, and just to preserve them, we'll put them in the freeze dryer so that we can store them long term. But one thing I am experimenting with is this plant right here. I actually took the entire plant and transplanted it into the garden because I wanted to see if it would still continue to grow and multiply without cutting off the tops. This plant seemed to transition very well, but I will keep an eye on it. This plant, not so sure if it's going to transplant well or not. But again, I'll keep an eye on that one. And this plant right here, I don't think is going to work. He did not transplant well, so I'll probably pull him out and put him in the sunroom with the other plants that are drying. So if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. Otherwise, we'll get you on the next video. Thanks so much for watching.